Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to every one of you all out there. It's your girl, Miss Analytical, and I'm coming to you straight out of NYC, Harlem to be exact, on this beautiful Saturday morning. You know, it looks like how it did when I was a kid on Saturday mornings when the sun was really bright. I don't know what it was, but it was always sunny on Saturday mornings when I was a kid, up until I turned 10. Then it started being really dreary. But then when I was 11, it became sunny again on Saturdays. It was just weird. But I just wanted to share that. Now, I also want to share something that I wouldn't say I'm really surprised over, but I'm kind of still like in awe. I'm not familiar with this man in terms of his comedy, but I just never really cared. I'm just pretty indifferent when it comes to him. But there's a comedian who's, has a name. His name is Jerrod Carmichael. And he basically starred, co-produced, and co-created, and even wrote some of the episodes of his show called The Carmichael Show. It was on for 3 seasons. And it never really had like a steady, pace in terms of, like most sitcoms will have like the traditional 20 episodes to like maybe 24 episodes, 23. But his sitcom sometimes had like 7, 10, 9. It was weird. But anyway, it was for 3 seasons and it starred a couple of people that we all know of. David Allen Greer, the lady Loretta Devine, Little Rel, Amber Stevens, and of course, Tiffany Haddish. And that was actually her breakthrough role when she starred on that. But anyway, why I'm speaking about him is because he has a special that just aired last night, and he's going to be hosting SNL this weekend. And for those of you who don't know, he came out as gay. Now, I'm going to say this after I read this, but I remember 2 years ago, he admitted, I think it was 2 years ago, he admitted that he had relationships with men. So I'm going to read an article from the Hollywood Reporter. I just had to mention that. And it reads, Jerrod Carmichael shares personal coming out experience in HBO special Rothaniel. In his new hour premiering Friday night, the comedian details revealing his secret to his friends and family. I rebelled against it my whole life. Comedian Jerrod Carmichael publicly shares that he is gay in his new HBO special Rothaniel premiering Friday night. In Rothaniel, the comedian who is set to host Saturday Night Live this weekend details coming out while sharing stories about his family history, including one that recalled the moment he caught his father cheating on his mother and the feelings that came with holding on to that secret. I don't know if I would have said anything if I had the courage, because I only saw the secret as something that could have torn our family apart. He says, adding that he later made his father tell his mother the truth. Reflecting on the event made Carmichael share the internal conflicts he was left to confront. Once that was done, I was left alone feeling like a liar because I had a secret, he says. One that I kept from my mother and my family, my friends, and all of you, professionally and personally. And the secret is that I'm gay. After taking a moment to pause, the audience erupts into tears, leaving Carmichael to express his gratitude. It means a lot. I'm accepting the love. I appreciate the love. My kind of ego wants to rebel against it, he says. I rebelled against it my whole life. I never thought I'd come out. I didn't think I'd ever come out, he explains. Probably at many points, I thought I would rather die than confront the truth of that. To actually say it to people, because I know it changes some people's perceptions of me. I can't control that. Carmichael later reflects on coming out to his friends, even sharing his best friend's comical reaction in which he said he felt like he was tricked into having a gay best friend. Later on, he reflects on his family's reaction, including his brother and parents, admitting that he hid it from his mom because he was afraid that her reaction would be to just go inside with it. He recalls his mom telling him, "I can't go against Jesus," and says she has since been trying to accept it. In a teaser released ahead of the special, Carmichael said he wanted to focus the conversation on secrets. "I've been trying to be very honest because my whole life was shrouded in secrets and figured the only route I haven't tried was the truth." Rothaniel was taped in February at the Blue Note Jazz Club in New York City. Bo Burnham directed, while Carmichael Burnham, I think his name is pronounced Burnham, Eli Bush, Matthew Vaughn, and Josh Senior executive produced. It marks Carmichael's third HBO stand-up comedy special, having made his HBO debut in 2014 with Jerrod Carmichael, Love at the Store. The special was followed by Jerrod Carmichael 8 in 2017. In 2019, Carmichael premiered the two-part video diary, Home Videos, and Sermon on the Mount on HBO. Rothaniel debuts on HBO on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and will be available to stream on HBO Max. So it premiered April Fools. Now, I'm going to say something, and what I'm going to say is that I am not familiar with his comedy. So I don't know if he's funny or if he's just a person that was promoted to push an agenda. I just found out last night that he was a comedian that basically went at Cosby, like Hannibal Buress did, which is kind of interesting because both of them, which is a fact with Jerrod Carmichael, their audience is primarily white, okay? Now, in the comedy world, and this is a known fact, you're either made funny by white people or you're made funny by black people. Asians, Hispanics is in between, okay? It's like you got to get validation from whites or black. So if you're a comic and you come up from the Comedy View, Def Comedy Jam circuit, black comedy clubs, you've been validated by black people. Case in point, you have the comics like Monique, Samore, Red, all of those comics that came up through Comic View, Steve Harvey, Taylor, they were validated by blacks. Then you have those that were validated by whites. You have Hannibal Buress, you know how I feel about him, Wanda Sykes, Chris Rock even. He was validated by whites, even though he performed in comedy clubs of blacks, but the white audiences made him IESNL. Then you have Kevin Hart. He came up through black comedy circus, but he somehow was able to cross over. He even auditioned for SNL, but he didn't get it. He lost to Kenan Thompson. Okay? Then you had Eddie Murphy, who came through white comedy clubs, but black people is really who validated him first before white people, but white people made him mega. He's actually the first mega star comedian. I want to make that clear. And tomorrow was his birthday. He's my favorite. I have to say that. But Jerrod Carmichael, I don't know him. I don't know his work. And I'm gonna give it a chance, but his rhythm as a comedian, it doesn't do it for me based on some of the clips I've seen here and there. Now, I want to say something about him coming out. I'm not surprised that he came out after reading the article. And it gives me a sense that I don't think he's still comfortable with himself. I don't think he's flamboyant, But there was an awkwardness about him, even when I would see clips of the promotion of the Carmichael show. But I didn't think there was anything of it. I just thought that he was like a socially, awkward kind of person. But Harvey from Your World, Superboy 223, shout out to him. Harvey basically said that he always thought that there was something, he's used the word off. I'm going to use the word different about him. And he basically said that he knew that there was, something, extra sweet about him. Now, when he admitted that he had relations with men, I was like, well, maybe he's bisexual. But hey, whatever floats your boat, as long as you ain't hurting the children and the animals and those that are defenseless, if it's consensual, it's your business. Do you? But my only thing is he doing it because this is him, or is he doing it because he's trying to stay relevant? You understand? Because he's not really relevant in the black comedy circuit. And when it comes to white audiences, they'll turn on you. They'll love you and give you the world. But if you get out of line, they'll turn on you. We saw what happened this week with Will Smith. I just want to say that. But with black audiences, whether Hollywood throws you away or keeps you, or they just, blacklist you, we'll still rock with you. Monique still sells out comedy shows. She still tours. She may not tour like she once did because, Monique, let's keep it real. Monique is a legend. She's 54. She doesn't have to hustle like she once did, She doesn't have to do that. And she's raising her children. Her sons are teens now. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she's a grandmother. From her son. And, we'll still love you. But Jerrod Carmichael, I just find it interesting that he blew up the way he did. Out of nowhere, he had that show. And that, I'm not going to say that it's because he was, he's gay, anything like that. No, but I think that all the comedians that, went at Cosby publicly, I think they were rewarded. I think they did it for a reward. I don't even think they did it just in the name of justice. I think they did it just to be put on. And, he's a gay man. It is what it is. And so if you were female and you had a thing for him, it ain't never going to happen. Not even in the fantasy world. It ain't going to work. And with that being said, it's your girl, Miss Ann Little Cole. I'm signing off. Enjoy the rest of the day. It's a beautiful day outside if you're in the NYC area. And have a good one. Later.